With the recent announcement during the 6 Moon Invitational a couple of weeks ago to the changes to the competitive map pool with Theme Park being removed and Chalet being added in, I can imagine you, like many of us, are sat here wondering how on earth is this map supposed to be played. It just seems to be a bit of a clown fiesta in ranked at the moment. What am I actually supposed to do to attack and defend? If it's viable for competitive play, there must be some rhyme or reason as to why. Because from my own experience in high plat to diamond elo, no one knows where or how to attack, and no one knows what to defend, because, well, no one knows what to attack. So we're all just guessing and crossing our fingers that we're guessing correctly. So if you don't know what to expect the attackers to do, how are you supposed to set up a good defense? However, if you do know what you're doing when you're playing Chalet, congratulations, I guess, you're ahead of the curve. But for the uninitiated, hello internet, my name is Nebulous, let's get into it. First of all, thanks for clicking on a new video. If you end up enjoying today's video or learning a thing or two, please consider leaving a rating down below, and if you're feeling extra spicy, maybe even consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Thank you. So as with our other map guides, linked down below for the playlist by the way, let's first take a look at the map as a whole and talk about the power positions on Chalet. Just like the old Chalet, a lot of the focus as an attacker should be around the fireplace and main lobby rooms, regardless of what bomb site the defenders have chosen. This is because for the 3 best bomb sites, the wine cellar and garage, the dining and kitchen, and the master bedroom and office, the fireplace and lobby are the pivotal areas of the map for both teams to control, as they provide near enough direct access to all 3 bomb sites. The floor of the lobby leads directly down into the snowmobile garage and the wine cellar, meaning that control of the fireplace can completely free up access to attack the snowmobile garage from outside. Lobby control also allows the attackers free reign to open up the walls of the dining room for the kitchen dining site, and control of the second floor fireplace balcony allows for complete control of the office walls in order to attack onto the second floor bomb site. So if you've played Chalet even a couple times, what I've just said may seem pretty obvious. So let me go into further detail and start by explaining some things. Starting with the basement bomb site, the wine cellar and snowmobile garage. Your bog standard defense is going to look relatively simple, with 6 reinforcements on all of the external site walls, 2 for the garage wall to the outside, and 4 for the inside wine cellar, as well as 2 reinforcements for the connector hatch up in the lobby and the cellar hatch inside of dining. This leaves 2 reinforcements for various adaptations. I'd say as a general rule, you'll want to reinforce the single wall that connects the cellar to the garage, so that if the attackers open the outside garage wall, you can still play somewhat safe inside of cellar, leaving you with 1 spare reinforcement to just leave. There's nowhere else really that it's going to add much value to your team. And this is where we find the biggest flaw with this basement bomb site, the lack of flexibility in how you can set up your defense. If you change any of the 5 to 6 primary reinforcements inside the site, you leave both objectives far too vulnerable. Okay, so what if we took the 2 hatch reinforcements and the 2 spare to try and set up a vertical hold? Because we identified earlier that the lobby is a big power position for this bomb site. Well, here's problem number 2. The soft destruction for this site heavily favors the attackers, as the only soft destruction you can perform is inside of the fireplace, as we mentioned, which is obviously impossible to properly defend. So what about the other first floor rooms? Well, you can't set up in bar because the floor is non-destructible and you can't actually apply any pressure down onto the site from above, making your hold up there useless. And the same goes for a hold in dining to provide vertical support. It's basically useless because your only method of vertical destruction is the dining hatch. But you can't see the wine cellar door from the hatch, so the hatch is basically useless again, and thus so is your dining room hold. Essentially, the only viable method to defend the cellar and the garage is through your basic horizontal hold throughout the bomb site, with some presence inside of blue and the main stairs. The only other real extension from the bomb site you can do to extend out of the actual bomb site itself is doing something similar to the basement on Oregon. If you open up one of the walls of the wine cellar and set up a shield and some ADSs or some MI discs to contest the trench door, so that you can have a bit more of an extension outside of the site and you don't feel quite as hemmed in. This is so that you can try and contest the attackers before they break into the map and establish too much of a foothold. Now, in order to attack the basement, and we're going to assume that Thatcher is banned, you've really got 2 strategies to work with. You can either attack onto cellar or you can attack onto the garage. If you choose to attack garage, it's a very straightforward strategy. You first open up the garage wall. You first have to open up the garage wall through whatever means, depending on whether the team is electric crick in the wall with a bandit or arcade. If they are, you can use either explosive attackers through the drone holes, or you can rappel on the window above to open up a line of sight through the floor down onto the wall. Then once you have the garage wall open, you'll want to take control of the fireplace to perform some vertical destruction to clear out all of those pesky positions inside of the site from above, and then once you've done that, the site should be pretty free to get a plant down because you can cover pretty much every angle you need to from above or from outside of the breach. And if you choose to attack the cellar, it's even simpler. All you need is some way to get whatever wall denial they have off the walls and a thermite or an ace. You open up both sets of reinforced walls onto the cellar, and then once you've opened the walls, have someone push down the main stairs to crossfire through the bomb site, and then the only angle you need to watch is for the blue door to the cellar. Next up, let's take a look at the master bedroom and office second floor bomb sites. This is where we can get slightly creative with our strategies. So if your games are anything like mine, your defenses of this bomb site tend to be very horizontal and narrow, extending into the piano room, and that's really about it. With the four walls of office being reinforced, with some form of wall denial to stop attackers pushing straight through library, out onto the fireplace balcony and into office. Now, the general idea is sound. It's a pretty good idea in general. I think the primary bomb site to attack is the office, and you should try to achieve that by opening up the south walls from the balcony. However, where I believe most teams go wrong on defending is that they fully reinforce the office so you can't contest the library hallway. As a defender, the library hallway is such a valuable part of the map, so what you can do is open up one of the western office walls and use either deployable shields with some ADSs or a mirror window if she's unbanned to play inside of the office to contest the library hallway. However, if you're not a fan of my more radical strategies, there are some nice ways to defend the office site vertically from down in dining. For your default setup for the top floor, you want to use your 3 or 4 requisite walls inside of the office, 2 on the master bedroom to the solarium walls, 1 on the walls between the master bedroom and office of the left side if you're standing in office looking into master. This is so that you can prevent the attackers from slicing the bomb site in half from the master bedroom rappel window, leaving 2 to 3 reinforcements for you to take down below to dining. You can reinforce the southern dining to fireplace walls so that you can play more safe inside of dining, opening vertical holes through the floor above to cover the common plant spots and the door outside balcony. If you do get pressured from fireplace by the attackers and you get forced out of dining, you can either drop to the basement via the hatch to flank up the library or garage stairs, or you can just rotate safely through kitchen and up the trophy stairs back to site nice and easily. As I mentioned before, when you're attacking onto this site, you're going to ideally want to push for office pretty much every time, starting by taking control of the library and the fireplace in order to get a foothold in the map and allow your team to open up these southern office walls. It's important to remember as well is that the outside balcony, or K9 as it used to be called, and the master bedroom window rappel are your best friends for this site, allowing you to completely cut off a lot of the important rotations for the defenders, like the office door to piano and the rotations between the two sites. Well, that's about it for today's video. I hope... sorry, apparently there's more than 2 bomb sites on Chalet? I swear I've only ever seen 2 bomb sites get played, because as everyone knows, you can only ever win 2 of your 3 defense rounds. So I guess let's quickly cover this third and final other decent bomb site, the kitchen and dining room. The main problem with this bomb site is that it's just kind of not very good. Let me explain. So for starters, the entire ceiling is destructible, meaning that any semi-skilled team will be able to take to the top floor, open up the floor and clear out every corner of the bomb site. The normal response to an attack like this is to fall out of the site and either play for a retake or flank upstairs, both of which are kind of fine strategies here. This is why I think it's important to extend your defense out into trophy and the west main, so that you can play off-site a bit and not be forced into the death box that is the 2 bomb sites. Now, as for your flanking routes, in my opinion, you really only have one good option, that being the trophy staircase, because realistically you're never going to be able to walk through fireplace and up the main stairs because there's too many angles for you to be looking at that you can be shot from. And the library stairs, in my opinion, just leads you walking directly into as many crossfires as you can imagine as you move towards piano from those stairs, especially if you're solo queuing. If you're playing with a friend, I can kind of see the library stairs being more viable because you can cover each other as you move up to retake the top floor. But overall, I think the trophy stairs are your best bet. Your team should have some kind of control over trophy anyway, and yes, the attacking team, if they take top floor, will probably have some denial on those stairs to stop a flank, but if you can just make it into the solarium, you have great vision onto most of the master bedroom where the attackers will be, allowing you to get your pick and fall quickly back down the stairs to safety, meaning that you can chill inside of trophy, wait for an opening, and pull off a quick flank without needing to expose yourself for too long. As for your reinforcements, I don't think there's anything too complicated you can really easily pull off here, as long as you reinforce the hatchin master and at least the 2 southern dining walls to fireplace. You're kinda fine. And as for your operator selection, I think you can get a bit more creative here. I think a castle isn't a terrible pick for this site. You can use the barricades to give you some more flexibility in how you extend the bomb site around a west main and trophy, and also a pulse and a Rooney could be pretty strong to help with the vertical play from the attackers. However, although I've made it seem like this site is attacker-sided, it's almost not. While you can attack by taking top floor control and opening up the bomb site, there's really no good way of actually pushing onto this bomb site to try and execute into either site. I think ideally you should focus on trying to clear out the dining room from above and then pushing down either the trophy stairs into west main or taking control of the fireplace and opening up the southern dining room walls. But even then, I think trying to actually plant on this bomb site isn't very smart because there's no real safe locations you can get the bomb down. I reckon most of these rounds attacking onto this bomb site will just end up as kind of a bit of a frag fest. Anyway, that about wraps up today's video for good now. I hope you all enjoyed and learnt a thing or two. If you did, please drop a like down below and consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my completely random uploads, which is kind of the funny thing. I started writing this video about a month ago or so it kind of works out that Chalet being added to competitive means that people might actually be looking for guides for this map, so being lazy kind of worked out, maybe. No, I don't think so. Anyways, if you do enjoy the content I create, I stream every now and then over on Twitch and love talking about Siege and the content I create. We also have a community Discord where you can meet people like yourselves, learn about Siege, squad up with the community and play together. Of course, if any of the aforementioned sounds interesting, links as always can be found in the description down below. And as always, happy gaming.